Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to take in the waist of your jeans like a professional. And for those of you who do not know, I used to be a tailor, so I started out working at Nordstrom as a sewer and I sewed men's suits and pants, and then I got promoted to being a full tailor, and then I did the pinning and fitting on customers and also the sewing. When I moved over to Lee's Tailor, I just did the pinning and fitting on the customers, but I have experience on both sides, so I'm going to show you all the little tips and tricks that we did in the tailor shop to take in a pair of jeans. Originally, I was going to show you guys how to alter 4 different things, and then when I was going back to edit, it was like a 40-minute video. So I'm just going to be focusing on how to take in a pair of jeans the professional way, so you guys know how to do that for yourselves. So let's first cut to a clip of me trying on the jeans so I can show you how I fit it and pinned it on myself. Okay, so here are the pants. From the front, they look fabulous, right? And they feel like they fit well. But then when you turn to the back, it's just right here. Like the hips and everything fit really well. It just buckles out like this. And I'm not happy with that. And it looks really bad when you sit down. So we want to take that away. What I'm gonna do, this is much easier if you have someone to help you, but you want to hold your jeans, like pull them together so that it feels comfortable. So it's snug, but not super tight. So I'm doing this at the center back. I'm gonna feel where it feels good. And then I made some marks where my hands held. So that's basically all I can really do on myself. If it was on someone else, this would be a lot easier, but that is how I fit them. Also, I'm editing right now and I forgot to mention that a lot of home sewing machines will not be able to sew through denim. So definitely try sewing through a few layers of thick fabric before you rip apart your jeans. In the tailor shop, we used industrial machines and we had special powerful industrial machines for the jeans. I was able to do this on my home sewing machine, but if you have a 60-year-old machine that breaks every time you sew through 2 layers of fabric, it's probably not gonna work. So just try it out first. Don't ruin your pair of jeans before you test out your machine. All right, so I'm just taking some tailor's chalk and making those marks that I already made just a little bit more visible. Then I'm going to grab a ruler and measure just exactly how much space is in between those 2 marks. So for me, it's 1.5 inches that I need to take out of the waist. I'm gonna grab a razor blade. You could use a seam ripper though. I just like razor blades because they're a little bit more efficient. And I'm going to seam rip the top of that belt loop at the center back of the pants. And I'm just going to remove the top part of the belt loop. I'm not gonna touch the bottom. Now between those other 2 belt loops on the sides, I'm going to remove the stitching. Not all the way to the belt loops, but close enough. And on a lot of jeans, there is a thread on the inside that's kind of looped over itself, and so it makes it really, really easy to just pull that away after you break any of the stitches. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just removing the top and bottom stitch lines, like so. Now because I'm taking a lot out of the waist, 1.5 inches to be exact, I'm going to want to create darts. So I am going to place my darts about halfway between each pocket. This doesn't have to be exact, just make sure that the dart placement is pretty even. And for my darts, I'm going to use each dart to take about 3/4 of an inch out, because 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5 inches. You don't want to take out more than what you're taking out in your waistband, because you can always ease in your seat into the waistband. So don't take out more in the seat of the pants than you're taking out in your waistband. You can take out a little bit less, but not more. So now I'm just going to transfer the marks I made on the waistband to the other side of the waistband, and now they can be handled separately. So I'm going to take each part of the waistband and fold it right sides together so that my 2 lines match up, and then I have that center back seam on the fold. And then just double check, make sure everything looks even, and then you are ready to go over to your sewing machine. Okay, so now I'm going to sew each part of the waistband separately. I know I need to remove 1.5 inches, so I am sewing 3/4 of an inch away from the edge, which is the lines that we had marked earlier. That's just on the other side, and I can't see those, but I know it's 3/4 of an inch away from the edge. Also, when you do this, make sure that your fabric is completely open and right sides together. As you can see, the top right there is not completely open, so I had to go back and fix that. But after that, I just trimmed down my seam, and then this is me going back and opening up that top part that was folded over accidentally. Now I'm just going to sew the dart. So fold your pants right sides together to make the little dart. I sew straight, and then when I get to the very edge, I don't backstitch. I just put my needle in and then I lift it up. I cut the thread with a long tail and then I triple knot it to reduce the bulk in that area. So once you sew both darts, you're ready to reattach the waistband. So I'm going to re-sew the seam at the top first, just so I have a waistband that is together and not moving around before I try to attach the waistband to the seat of the jeans. At this point, I'm also going to be switching over to this heavy duty jeans top stitching thread, just so that it can match relatively close to the rest of the thread in the jeans. It's not perfect, but you definitely won't be able to notice that it's a different thread. If you want this to look absolutely perfect, make sure you are stitching inside the line that was previously stitched, and a lot of the times you'll see that it's actually a different color. Where the stitching was previously, it will be a darker blue. So just follow that line and then it will look basically perfect. And then just repeat this for the bottom stitch line, making sure to also catch the actual seat of the jeans inside the waistband. So this is where you're finishing up sewing that waistband back onto the jeans. So just make sure all of the threads and everything is on the inside. And then I forgot to mention this, but on both the top and bottom stitch lines at the center back seam, you definitely want to use your hand wheel instead of trying to just rip through that with your foot pedal, because you will definitely break a needle, because that is very thick right there. As you can see here, my thread actually broke, not my needle, but my thread did break, and I had to redo that just because it's super bulky right there. So just proceed with caution. A lot of home sewing machines won't actually be able to do this, but I do have a trick for you, which I will show you in a second. Okay, so here's my little trick. I'll take a mallet and I will hammer down at the bulky points right at the center back seam. This is actually what we did at the tailor shop, and it just helps flatten it out and reduce the bulk a little bit more, so it's easier to sew. I'm also showing this to you after the fact, but I think you get the point. And then after you do that, it should be a little bit easier to get over that seam. So I was able to after I hammered that down a little bit, and then I just continued sewing, backstitched, and finished it off. And then the last step is to reattach that belt loop, and because it's at the center back, it should cover up that seam that you created at the center back seam on the waistband perfectly. Again, this is super bulky, and I'm going to use my hand wheel for this. If you know that your machine can't do it, then I would whip out a thimble and hand stitch that with some thread. It'll be some hard work, but it won't break your needle that way. But after you sew on the belt loop, you are finally done and you have yourself a tailored pair of pants. Look how professional they look. Wow, go us. All right, so here are the jeans after I tailored it. Look at that. It fits so smoothly on my back. It does not gap in any weird places. It's perfect. And then if you look at it, you can't even notice that it's been tailored. It looks like it was just made to fit me, which is what you're going for when you're tailoring your clothes. And then also notice how when I bend over, it doesn't gap anymore as well. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you learned a new thing or two. Definitely let me know down below what other videos you'd like to see from me in the future. If you are not already, definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My handle is Kiana Bonolo. And oh, if you liked this video, definitely hit the like button, because it's the easiest way to support your favorite creators for free. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.